Okay.
Okay, so hold on.
That was loud.
No, it's like where this joint is like cracking.
Dylan threw something at me.
Dylan, we're gonna get through some people.
He's
man.
mean.
We gotta have good.
Dylan, what are you wearing?
Oh my god.
It hurts.
Just bring it in for the real deal. There we go.
This is a picture that you put. You should like stop it and then put that picture up. What?
I was born in '99. That's what.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? I'd have to say probably, out there doing my thing, living my dream, touching the sky, maybe on Mars, I don't know, just doing whatever. Most memorable Rock Creek moment would have to be it was probably it was probably the third year we had the retreat. I stayed behind with a group of students, and Mr. Bush was the teacher who was in charge of keeping watch on us. R.I.P. to Mr. Bush, who was a real MVP. And we decided to go down to the gym after lunch, and Renea decided she was gonna throw it back. That was great, because nothing on her but her back was moving. It was the best. The advice I would give to my freshman self would be to never stop being you. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and cannot do, because what you can and cannot do is not up to them. It is totally up to you. So go ahead and buy that t-shirt. One word I would use to describe our class: bold. We are very bold. The most influential person in my high school career would have to be my dad.
In 10 years, I would love to be married and hopefully have kids and live happy. Yeah. I don't have an amazing memory, but I will say that some of my favorite memories at Rock Creek would probably all have taken place at lunchtime, because I laugh a lot at lunch and it's fun. I used to dislike raisins and rap music a lot, but now that I'm in high school, I'm fine with raisins and I'm fine with rap music. So yeah. I would tell my freshman self to brush your hair. Yeah. To describe our class, I would use the word outspoken. I think Mr. Burton was probably the most influential person within my high school years, because he always gave me advice and he always made me think.
You want the real answer, or you just want me to give like a...
No matter what, we wanted you to repeat the question.
Okay. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself with my own heating and air business. That's what I see. I want to open a business.
That's fine, but I thought you didn't want to do it.
I want to do heating.
Oh, you do now?
My most memorable Rock Creek moment would have to be the time that I stepped on a beehive. And they stung me, they stung Carrie. And as I was running by, Mr. Pero stops me and says, "Wait, give me the camera." So I had to stop and give him the camera before I went to the nurse's office. Priorities. The advice that I would give my freshman self would be to listen to my parents and teachers more instead of taking the long way and doing my own thing. One word to describe our class would be underrated, due to the fact that we feel that a lot of the underclassmen just kind of look at us as a bunch of idiots, I should say, don't really know what we're doing just because of what they've seen. They don't know what we're capable of, We have a lot of kids that can be really intelligent and really successful, but, they don't choose to be. That doesn't mean that they aren't. Because, dude, okay, have you not seen Nathan Jones, dude? Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones.
Say something nice, like yes.
Okay, sorry. I think that our class is amazing, all right? We got amazing people. All of us can be president, okay? All of us. Most influential person in high school would have to be Mr. Pero, because ever since I've had him as a teacher, he's pushed me to explore the arts, such as photography, and extend my knowledge in Photoshop and video editing, and it's just been something that's become valuable to me in the years.
In 10 years, I definitely see myself married with 3 kids, registered nurse. So, yeah, that's nice. I'll say, so something I used to dislike was coffee. Now I freaking love it, so that's always nice. One word I would use to describe our class is different. Why? Because we have so many different people in this class. My most important person in my high school career would probably be Coach Pero. Why? Because when I used to play basketball my freshman and sophomore year, he would always push me to the hardest. My most memorable moment of Rock Creek was probably the retreat when we built a fort. It was dope.
In 10 years, I see myself in Florida on the beach, because where I'm moving to, because I'm sick of Indiana. I have me a wife. Her name might be Cece. Okay, my favorite Rock Creek moment would have to be, I think it was my 8th grade year at the retreat, and Coach Pero was gonna blob me, and I tried to jump off of the pier, but instead I kind of missed the whole blob, and I slapped the back of it and almost drowned. My neck got caught on a rope, but yeah. All right, it's kind of ironic that I didn't like this, but I didn't used to like watermelon drinks, but this is that drink. You're like, yeah, I gotta get this. This is dope. It's at the 7-Star right up the street. 99 cents, y'all. Y'all gotta get it.
Wait, 99 cents?
99 cents. The advice I would give to my freshman self would to be, if you want something, go after it. Don't give up just because one person gave you a letdown. And also, don't be afraid to be black. Like, understand that, you might not be in large amounts of black people at all times. But that doesn't mean you have to change who you are for somebody else. Hard-headed. I would describe our class as hard-headed. Yes. Nope. No thoughts. Most influential person in my life would probably have to be Miss R, because regardless of all the times when I doubted myself as far as like solo and ensemble goes, she would always take the time out to push me and make sure I hit the notes, and because of her I was able to go to state 3 times. So thank you, Miss R.
I see myself in 10 years, probably like out of college with a job in my chosen like job field and stuff. This one time, my favorite Rock Creek moment is this one time in 4th period. We were sitting there and they were playing, like, they pulled up pieces of paper and threw it, and Eleni bent down to pick it up, and her desk kind of just like fell over with her in it. And it happened in slow motion. Nobody moved, and she just laid there. We thought she was dead for a little bit, but she's okay now. So it's still good though. It was funny. You had to be there. Had to be there. Something I disliked before that I like now. Probably, I don't know. I like sports more than I did. I would tell my freshman self probably to not like worry about like the future so much, because I didn't really like enjoy like my younger years. And also change your hair. My haircut was horrible my freshman year. One word I would use to describe my senior class is probably persistent. Like, we want something, we're going for it, I guess. My mom, because she works really hard, and she like, I don't know, she's just really good to me, and I'm really bad sometimes, so my mom.
In 10 years, I probably see myself out of college, doing what I love, playing with my nephews, my nieces. That's probably about it. My favorite Rock Creek moment was probably at the retreat this past year. We made a giant fort at the end of our hallway, and Miss Brown came in and started to yell at us, but then noticed like it was really cool, and then she actually like said we did really good on it. And Kayla always called us the fort. The whole senior year we've been the fort, so that's probably it. Something that I disliked before and like now is probably gonna be soccer. No, it's soccer. One word I would use to describe my senior class is probably different. I'd probably give a shout out to my dad for doing everything he has for our family and everything he's been going through.
Where I see myself in 10 years is in an apartment, probably, because my job doesn't pay much. Probably with one dog, but those are kind of cheap, so I might have to just keep it at my mom's house. She might have to take care of the dog because she does it anyway. Living off lean cuisine meals because I can't cook. Okay, my favorite Rock Creek moment of this year is the beginning of the year when the Tory was still in first place. We had a feud with St. Paddock, and there was like a little chant going on between the houses, and the Tory won. Go to Tory forever. One thing that I disliked before, but I like now, is basketball. I used to hate it. Now I like it. It's fun. The advice that I would give my freshman self. Shoot, probably it would be to get out of my room more. I used to just stay in there forever. Like I live in my room. I don't get out. Probably catch some sun, do something. One word I would use to describe my senior class is done. We are done with the school year. We are ready to go away. My family, I just love them all. They're the influential people in my life. Did I redo it? Did I do it right? Look at that.
Now I know why I'm the one that clicks this thing.
Good? Yeah.
In 10 years, I would like to see myself maybe producing some good music and giving it to the world. My favorite Rock Creek moment would have to be leaving the 8th grade trip, and I was loading luggage with Nick Cowley, and the door closed on us and we got stuck in the bottom of the bus for like 10 minutes. Something that I didn't appreciate as much, but I appreciate more now, is the craft of good music. Musicianship. One word that I would give our senior class is adaptable. So one particular influential person that I would like to name is Omar Rodriguez Lopez. He's truly a phenomenal musician. One influential person that I would like to name would have to be the one and only John Theodore, but also my parents, because I'm here because of them.
I don't know yet. Still in the determined stage. My favorite Rock Creek moment would be hanging out with friends.
Name something that you disliked before, but you like now.
The harmonica. The advice that I'd give my freshman self would be don't do anything stupid because you will regret it in the future. One word to describe my senior class would be insane. So some of the influential people in my life would probably be my Aunt Alice and my Uncle Leo, because they always help me in sticky situations because I will need help the rest of my life. Just my overall family, because they're always there for me. I mean, I've had a hard life, really have. And that's really it.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Well, my main dream / goal ever since I was a little kid is to be a famous musician with my band. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to name my band Evangelion because it sounds pretty good. And yeah, basically I just want to be a pretty well-known singer in a band. My favorite Rock Creek moment is winning the talent show my first year I was here. That was really nice. Something that I didn't like when I joined high school, but like now, is I have to say I have a way bigger appreciation for music. When I first joined high school, I was kind of like the pop slash country kind of kid, which is cringy to me now because I don't like that stuff anymore that much. But I like old rock, like kind of a little older rock, but not as old as the old rock. New rock, and a bunch of alternative stuff and indie stuff and all that. Anything that's good. Advice that I would give my freshman self, I'd say people aren't what they seem to be. There are a lot of fake people and a lot of bullies that seem to be pretty nice in the world and in this school. That's what I'd say. Well, the most influential person I have in my life throughout my high school career is probably my cousin Elijah, because he's always been there for me and he's always had a lot of good advice for me, and I've helped him in return too. And he's the reason that I've gotten into a lot of artistic endeavors like theater and music and poetry, and yeah, that's him. One word I would use to describe my senior class. Interesting.
In 10 years, I see myself, I don't know, hopefully married with a couple kids, a good job. Everybody expects me to say like winning sectionals was my favorite. I disliked people coming into high school. I like some people now. The advice I would give to myself as a freshman would be to do my work. Josh is probably the most influential person in my life, just because he does everything on his own. My brother Josh.
I see myself 10 years from now as a CDL driver and putting my first down payment on a house. My favorite Rock Creek moment would be it would be the retreats at the first of each year. Something that I disliked before. It would have to be the house meetings, but I kind of like them now. They're okay. I would give my freshman self just to get out there and make more friends. One word probably would be fun.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? With a family, a nice job, that's about it. What is my favorite Rock Creek moment? Going to sectionals this year for basketball, because we made history with our team and it felt good. And I loved spending time with my team too. So what advice would I give my freshman self? Be yourself, most definitely. One word that would describe our senior class: unique. Most definitely unique, yeah. An influential person in my life would be Coach White, because he's taught me a lot. He's taught me never stop at what you're doing, never give up. So yeah.
Alright, where I see myself in 10 years, I'm gonna just make this plain and simple: successful. I think my favorite Rock Creek moment would be when I get my diploma in my hand and I leave to graduate. Something I dislike. I don't know. I liked everything coming into high school. The advice I would give my freshman self would be, don't worry about what anybody has to say about you, because in the end it doesn't matter. You're just here to get your diploma and leave. One word I would use to describe the senior class is special.
Family.
One
Teacher. Yep.
person, it would be my mom.
You want to elaborate on that, or you just want to leave it at mom?
She knows.
All right.
In 10 years, I see myself just about ready to start BUD/S training for Navy SEAL, to become a Navy SEAL. What advice would I give my freshman self? Everything you're about to do, just don't do it. That's all I gotta say.
It's good advice.
One word I would use to describe my senior class: pitiful. I think the person who's influenced my life the most at Rock Creek's definitely gotta be Miss Riley, because when I was at my lowest point in life, she just brought me up and helped me when I needed it. So.
In 10 years, I see myself playing basketball somewhere, having a wife and children to take care of. My favorite Rock Creek moment was 2 years ago when we won sectionals, and it was my first sectionals I ever won in my life, so it was a good experience. My mom and dad, when I was lazy or anything like that, wasn't trying to do nothing and stuff like that, they always keep pushing me to keep doing it and stuff like that. I always had these hour or two talks with me and stuff like that about life and what I'm going to do in life and all that stuff, so I thank them too.
You know, that's just such a hard question. Oh, I have to repeat it back. Where do I see myself in 10 years? You know, it's kind of hard to answer that. I could be dead, alive, in Antarctica. So I don't know. My favorite Rock Creek moment is whenever we were on the Chicago trip and me and Tanner were putting luggage into the bottom of the bus and it shut on us and we were stuck under the tour bus for 20 minutes. What is something I didn't like but I like now? I used to hate working, but now I like to work because I get money. What advice would I give my freshman self? You don't have to try to be a savage because you already are a savage. What is one word I would use to describe my senior class? Cursed. You know, I really just think Billy Mays was just...
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Hopefully a cop. It's plan number one. If not, probably, wind up in a ditch somewhere, but it's whatever. My favorite Rock Creek moment? I guess would have to be winning our first football game. That's the first one that kind of comes to mind. That was a big victory for the school and myself. So.
Why'd you that turn?
Something that I disliked before, but I like now. Probably writing. I enjoy writing now. Thanks, Hardenbrook. But the advice that I would give to my freshman self would definitely be stop trying to be like everyone else. Oh, one word that I would use to describe our senior class. Okay. Outrageous. No, not outrageous. I take that back. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yes. Influential people would be Pero, because he's all right, and Pero, definitely my parents, and now Hardenbrook. I know I haven't, have been one of his students too long, but he's definitely been pretty neato. So don't put that in there because that was stupid.
In 10 years, I see myself as let's do the math on this. I'm 18 now, so 10 years I'll be 28 years old. So I say that if I join the military by the time I'm 20, then I would have at least had maybe about 8 years in the military. So I think by this time, I should be a MP in the Army. Hopefully at least engaged. Maybe a child on the way. I don't know. Something I disliked before, but I like now, honestly, would have to be Rock Creek in general. Rock Creek beforehand, I came in as this punk who was ready to just do anything I could to get expelled. There was that 1 week where I almost got expelled 3 times. I was just ready to get out of Rock Creek, but over the past year, I've made a lot of friends. I've learned that the teachers here are really cool, and honestly, what advice would I give my freshman self? Honestly, stop being such an idiot and study, and stop trying to impress everybody. I mean, from the things that I've learned from the different people that I've met, I've learned that everybody loves me for who I am, and I never really noticed that before. Growing up, I always thought, okay, I'm just gonna be this off-the-wall, crazy kid that everybody's gonna love, but I just needed to be myself, and a lot of people have shown me how special I am by just being myself. Alright, one word that I would describe our senior class would be courageous, honestly.
Name?
The influential people in my life would have to be my mom and dad, of course. My grandparents are very influential in my life. There's just a lot. My family they've always had my back and have always supported me and done things to help me and just always have been there for me.
Where I see myself in 10 years? Making money somewhere. What's my favorite Rock Creek moment?
Moment, memory, what?
Probably playing football this year and winning MVP. Our first win that I couldn't be a part of because I was injured. That's pretty cool. What advice would I give my freshman self? To lift weights as a freshman and just keep lifting weights because I'm small now. Something I disliked before high school, but I like now. Making my money on my own.
Okay.
Myself, hopefully finishing up college or so. I want to get a degree in computer science. My favorite Rock Creek moment, graduating would probably be it. I mean, I don't really know what else for I would say my attitude towards school. Like, my attitude towards school is probably my, something that I dislike going into high school. So that's probably one thing I hated, was just the way I thought of school.
Alright.
What advice would I give my freshman self? If I could, I would tell my freshman self to try harder. Look at school in a more positive perspective than what I did. And to just look forward to years on, because school goes by fast. One word to describe the senior class would be interesting. That would be my one word. My most influential person, teacher-wise, I would say Mr. Pero. He influenced me a lot. He may not realize it, but he actually did. Because he would, we would talk and stuff, and he would always tell me that school flies by, or quick, and look toward positive features and stuff like that. Mr. Pero has brought my dreams come true to a computer class. He taught me more than what I would have thought on my own.
So where do I see myself in 10 years? Probably still in school, yeah, in college. med school.
Are you going to be a doctor or are you going to be
Yeah, I want to be a doctor. Yeah. So, man, I've had a lot of favorite Rock Creek moments, but probably one of my favorite Rock Creek moments was probably have to be at prom, just hang out with my friends, dancing the night away. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite Rock Creek moments. Something I disliked before, but I like now. That will have to be country music. I'd probably tell myself to work harder, like probably focus a lot harder in school, but at the same time live life. Yeah. Influential people. Well, I have a few. Can I give a few? Or just one? Well, first of all, would have to be my real parents back home in Malaysia. They're like really influential people in my life. My American parents are also influential, and I would have to go with obviously God. He's really like an influential person in my life as well. So, yeah.
I don't know if I have one Rock Creek moment. I want to say it's just a bunch of stupid little moments all mushed together. I don't know. This is weird to say, but I like school more than I did. I don't love school now, but I like it more than I used to. Advice that I would give my freshman self would be to quit focusing on other people and to focus more on myself and, you know, my studies and all that. One word to describe my senior class would be interesting. An influential person that I would like to acknowledge is Eddie Van Halen, because he's amazing at everything he does, and guitar, and everything else.
In 10 years, I will see myself graduating from college, getting a degree, being licensed, and getting a good paying job. My favorite moment from Rock Creek is the senior trip, all of it. Something I dislike, but I like now is taking math, because now the job I'm focusing on requires a lot of math. The advice I would give my freshman self was probably study a lot harder. One word to describe my senior class is probably cursed.
It's recording, right? Cool. How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. Well, I see myself in 10 years. I see myself working for a well-rounded company, maybe, or eventually go back to school and do something I like to do in my future. But my favorite Rock Creek moment, let's see. I love the prom. I mean, this year's prom, it was really fun and everything, but hey, that senior trip, it was a good time getting to know more people and getting to learn people's personalities and having fun dancing and exploring the world a little bit. Something I disliked before, but I like now? That one's let's see. Well, I wasn't too big on rap music much, but just a little bit of it. It's alright. It's alright. Just a little. Yeah. I used to not like, I was all country, but a little, you gotta mix it up a little bit maybe. Just a little. Advice I give my freshman self is to stay confident and have goals in my life and go as far as I can. Yes, my father, which passed away a couple years ago, me and him were really close, and I miss him every day, but I think about him every day. And my mom, she's been there for me anytime. My brother, he's always been there for me, and I love them very much.